understanding Mendel's law and their application particularly in the area of the plant breeding. So basically, whenever we talk about the Mendel's law, so before that, I think that it will be better to understand the Mendel, a person who faced a lot of vagaries during his early days. He did not continue his education in formal institution. He forced to join a monastery as a pastoral job. He served as supply teacher in school. In spite of that, he served throughout his life with dedication, with honesty, with vision, and he did a great job. And that great job is so great that his contemporary scientists or colleagues were not able to understand what Mendel was saying, what Mendel did, what Mendel presented in his paper in 1965. And that was the, you can say, great shock for the science, because science remained behind maybe 30-35 years. Otherwise, it would have been the foundation of the science should have been started right from the 1965, but formally it started in the maybe after 2000, after the discovery of the Mendel's law. So Mendel did his experiments, and the paper presented that was translated in English, the experiment on plant hybrids, and originally the paper was in German language. Before moving to the content, just I've included something about the Mendel. So under the title Introductory Remarks, so we know that Mendel, Gregor John Mendel, that is the full name of the Mendel, was born on maybe by 22nd July of 1822 in a poor family who lived in a village in northern Moravia of Czech Republic. His family valued education, but he don't have money, or the family don't have money to continue his education. He attended local school, and in 1943, based on one of the recommendations, based on his talent in physics and mathematics, he enrolled in one of the monastery, that is the Center for Creative, Center for Science, Center for Learning in Brunn. And again, based on his credential, he was assigned teaching to secondary school in 1949 and was well received by the students. Without formal training, formal education, higher education, he was one of the teachers appreciated by the student. Though he did not pass qualifying state examination, which was actual mandatory during those days for teaching, for formal teaching in school, college. So Mendel was again, he was sent to the University of Vienna for higher study. He studied the natural sciences and mathematics. Here Mendel also studied combinatorial theory under Etin Gaussen, and this combinatorial theory of course helped Mendel to discover so many things, are used or integrated mathematics or statistics in the biological science. First time Mendel returned to the teaching in Brunn in 1854. Again, after 2 years, he tried to clear the examination required for teaching, but again he did not clear that examination certificate, teaching certificate examination. And in fact, he withdrew his candidature because of the anxiety and illness, and continued to teach part-time as a teacher, and did do the research. He performed various hybridization work in plants, primarily on pea, beans and cucumber, while staying in the monastery during the 1854 to 1863. In 1865, Mendel gave 2 lectures in one of the society, one of the not prominent society, but it is local society, that is Natural Science Society of Brunn, to mostly scientists and former peers, Mendel peers, about his discovery from his pea plant experiment. The first lecture given on February 8 consisted of mostly mathematical ratios and left famed botanist Alexander Makovsky, chemist French, and physician Jacob confused. Means these prominent personality who were present during the presentation of the Mendel on 8th February were not able to understand what Mendel was saying, and they were all confused. 4 weeks later, again Mendel gives the second part of his lecture with the same level of audience, and again the situation were almost same. They were not able to understand what Mendel was saying. The first half of Mendel's paper, 1866 paper, is basically devoted to exclusively to the acquisition of his generally applicable law, quantifying reversion, while the hybrid represent an ever-increasing proportion of the progeny, while the final pages are devoted exclusively to transformation experiment, which we'll discuss later on. Mendel work was ignored because of this is one of the reasons why Mendel work was not appreciated or recognized at that time, because the journal which published the Mendel work was not good journal, rather it was one of the obscure journal, and good scientists never believe on those kind of journals. In spite of that, he sent almost 133 connections to his paper, who basically working on the natural science, and many of the libraries of the institution. Mendel also published 2 short papers about pest in crops in 1853 and 1854 in addition to that main paper, because of the nature of the work. An article in, this is one of the newspaper named Tagos Bote, called Mendel, a widely known jealous horticulturist and pomologist. So this was the tag attached with the Mendel locally. Local people basically only know that Mendel is only a horticulturist who love the flowers, who make the crosses, who develop the different kind of varieties. So he is known as horticulturist and pomologist. The first newspaper article mentioned that Mendel had extended his experiment to carnation and fuchsia plant also, and Mendel was acquainted with the famous fuchsia breeder and named after the Mendel, Pralat Mendel. Abbot Napp, who is Abbot Napp is basically the who is monastery head, and Mendel both were involved in the pure and applied science related to breeding, crop improvement, and genetics of. So local society, natural science society, has many branches, and these 2 areas like breeding, crop improvement, and genetics were basically the looked after by the head of the monastery, Napp and Mendel. Mendel's works challenged pre-established thoughts. So this is one of the outcome of the Mendel, which people not realize, and basically whatever the thoughts, prevailing thoughts were there, were basically challenged by the Mendel laws. This is another Cornwall Nageli, one of the famous scientists at that time, was the only scientist who acknowledged Mendel correspondence and encouraged him to carry out his next series of experiments on various. So out of the 133 connections he has made, or he has sent the paper, only one, Cornwall responded, and he suggested to extend his work in one of these species, that is genus that is known as Hieracium hawkweed. Hieracium studies has become a daunting task for Mendel. While Mendel has produced about 200 Hieracium hybrids, to obtain sufficient number of hybrids to analyze the numerical relationship between the different types of members. So Mendel actually, he believed in the number. So more the number, he believed that the result will be more. So he made the 200 crosses, and this was virtually, these 200 crosses were virtually impossible task because of the emasculation of the teeny, very small flowers of the hawkweed, and it required basically lens, concentrated light, and this activity, this emasculation, pollination, has basically ruined Mendel's eyesight. So he basically, at the verge of losing his eyesight. In 1869, he reported that the results were different from those obtained in the Physium. 1817, 1870, he published a paper along with the Nageli that the result of the Physiums are not able to be replicated in the hawkweeds. And basically, the region was not clear at that time. but basically the major reason was that the hawkweed is vegetatively propagated plants, and that's why it was difficult to replicate the last which was proved in sexually propagated crops. After 1817, Mendel became very interested in beekeeping, bee breeding, and became a member of the Association of the Moravian Beekeepers. So he was also one of the famous bee breeder. He performed breeding experiment with different bees. After the death of the head of the monastery, Knapp, he was elected as a board of his parish, the Thomas Monastery. In spite of all those vagaries, Mendel had not lost his confidence, and he is confident on his work. And just before his death, he commented that my scientific labors have brought me a great deal of satisfaction, and I am convinced that before long the entire world will praise the result of these labors. At the age of 61, in January 1884, Mendel died due to heart and kidney failure, and this was an end of a dedicated private scientist working and think. To say all this about the introduction, nowadays they have a question there that why Mendel is known as founder of the genetics, father of the genetics. It is the question there. Even in the 2000, there was a lot of criticism. In the year 2000, Mendel papers is still discussed and criticized, interpreted and reinterpreted. Harmony that had prevailed in the 1900 at the time discovery of the Mendel paper is no longer in evidence. In the year 2000, Mendel challenged the traditional story so long cherished by a student of genetics has been relegated to the status of myth, a myth created by early geneticists to reinforce the belief that the law of inheritance are obvious to anyone who looks closely enough at the problems, and they don't want to give any credit to the Mendel. So another there are some facts like the science of genetics. In fact, the science of genetics came into existence only for the William Batson, and his theme was the need to establish this new discipline of science, genetics. Nor do we know of reason to do so. In 1965, the centenary of Mendel's famous paper, British evolutionist Sir Gavin D. Beer declared on the radio that there is not known another example of science which sprang fully formed from the brain of one man. To an audience at the Royal Society that year, he delivered an address with the title Genetics, the Center of Science, in which he explained himself more fully. It is not often possible to pinpoint the origin of a whole new branch of science accurately in time and place, but genetics is an exception. Originated with one man, Gregor Mendel, who expounded its basic principles at Brno on 8 February and 8 March 1865. So how Mendel managed huge experiment, because working at the base are working in a standard which basically form a basis of a science or a discipline or a subject is really difficult. That required a lot of patience, lot of work. So how Mendel worked? How Mendel managed huge experiment? It was in 1856 when Mendel was a supply teacher. A major controversy on the contribution of one or both parents in embryo formation was under discussion. So this is one of the hot talk during those period when Mendel was supply teacher, and he used to teach one of the student in one of the school. In 1857 and 1858, Mendel received commendations for promoting the working of the school. Since he was very much appreciated by the student, that was he got the appreciation, recommendation, commendation from the school authority in 1857 and 1858, and remained in his office till 1868 before he became a board of the monastery. Thus, Mendel could have had very little time to devote. So this is one of the questions there, that how Mendel got this much of time to conduct the experiment, since he has to devote more and more time in teaching. he has to devote more and more time in the other works. So how he has got? So the myth has prevailed that Mendel worked in isolation, but it appears that monastery has all contribution in space resources. So these are the not mentioned, or it is not regarded, but hopefully the monastery has managed all the things, not only in terms of the manpower support, but also in terms of the allocation of the resources, space, and all other things. Abbot Napp, the head of the monastery, was keenly interested in natural history, science, and therefore assumed that Mendel enjoyed both moral and material support of Abbot Napp, who understood his motivation, if anyone did. So, relation, I have just written here some of the fact about the relation between the Mendel philosophy and the genetics. So, the term genetics came into existence in 1996. The gene came into existence in 1909. So, before the coin of the terminology, the science originated. Mendel did not use genetics or heredity in his paper published in this in 1866, not 1966. In classical sense, genetics refers to the study of heredity and variation. Thus, the basic philosophy of genetics is to study the transmission of characters from parents to offspring, and the variation arise among the offspring. Though Mendel did not spell out heredity and variation, but his experiments proved to address well all aspects of the heredity, how the trait is transmitted from parent to offspring, and how the variations are arise in the offspring derived from the crosses. So all those aspects are fully addressed by the Mendel, though he has not used the term heredity. He didn't mention any laws of heredity. This is fact. He has not mentioned any laws. He has not proposed any laws of genetics or laws of any law of heredity. But experiment and experimental data requires to justify a law or make a new law is adequately and justifiably represented in Mendel's experiment. However, the revisionist view, which diminishes Mendel's role in the development of science of inheritance, is popular among historians and sociologists of science. So this is true that those who make hue and cries has become popular, but those who work silently are those who have the submissive way, they basically remain behind. And this is the situation with the Mendel, because the opponent have dominated over the Mendel's principles and Mendel's law, and they always try to not to regard Mendel as a founder or father of the genetics. So what was the understanding of the Mendel at the beginning when he planned or when we started the experiment? Before Mendel started with his pea experiment, he had already a considerable knowledge of plant breeding. So if you see the kind of work he did, if you see the paper of the Mendel, then you will realize that this is not being planned by a person who is a monk, who is doing the supply teaching job, who is performing a pastoral job. So this is not, so their planning was excellent. In 1846, he attended a course in pomology and viticulture given by Professor Franz, a friend of Abbot Napp, at Brunn Philosophy. So this is one training he got. At this course, artificial pollination for the production of new cultivars was taught both theoretically and practically. During his university study at Vienna, Franz Unger, one of the Mendel's botany professor, taught the transmission of the variable traits from mother to daughter plants through seed. So this is another one of the key points Mendel learned while he was at the University of Vienna. In 1855, Unger wrote, hybridization has been extensively exploited in horticulture, which has produced a large number of forms of which the parental lines are partly or completely unknown to us. Artificial fertilization, transmission of traits, and the application to plant improvements were thus subjects in which Mendel was well trained. In spite of low education, in spite of all the problems, he learned a lot. Deep understanding on the earlier work on the plant hybridization were the another asset with the Mendel. And particularly if you see the work of the Kohlreuter and Gartner. Their work Mendel has mentioned many times in his paper, and that indicate that Mendel well reviewed the literature. He gone through all the paper. He understand the things what existing and what he need to do. Now, motivation behind the experiment. So, experience of artificial fertilization such as is effected with ornamental plants in order to obtain new variation in color has led to the formulation of different experiments. The striking regularity with which the same form always reappeared whenever fertilization took place between the hybrid of the same species induced further experiments to be undertaken, the object of which was to follow up the development of the hybrids in their progeny. So that was another interesting observation, interesting knowledge Mendel had, and it is not the first case when Mendel observed. Actually, this is already happening, but other contemporary or previous preceding scientists, they were looking over the plants in totality, but Mendel basically look in isolation, and he realized the thing that once we make the crosses between the two hybrids, then the parental type, progeny or offspring reappeared. So Mendel thoughts. What was his thought? He learned about Coleridge, Gardner, Herbert, Lyco, Vultura, and others who have devoted their whole life inexhaustible perseverance in hybridization, making different observations. Literature indicates no generally applicable law governing the formation and development of hybrids. So at that time there is no law. He did not find any law. It was hardly be wondered at by anyone who is acquainted with the extent of this task. So no information is available. None has appreciated the difficulty. Even if someone has tried, but it was not appreciated, it was not mentioned, not regarded by anyone, the kind of difficulty or the effort required to make such kind of experiment. A final decision can only be arrived at when we shall have before us the result of detailed experiment made on plant belonging to the most diverse. So already Mendel has, already before the Mendel, many scientists, many researchers have made lot of crosses in diverse crop species, particularly in the ornamentals, and all those information Mendel has gathered, they have collected, and he basically realized that of course it will be interesting to work, or it will be interesting to work whatever is not reported and whatever is not known. So modern Mendel experiment, assumptions and analysis. So plants, so what are the assumptions? What are the assumptions he has made? The plant must have constant differentiating characters. So he knows about the characters. So only he referred those plant which shows the constant differentiating characters, means two plants have the clear-cut distinction without any ambiguity, so that they can be counted, they can be measured, they can be analyzed without any problem. The hybrid of such plants must be protected from the, so there will not be any kind of cross pollination. So the protection of the from the foreign pollen is essential. The hybrids and their offspring should have equal, so there should not be any differences in the fertility, because once there is difference, then you cannot go for the any kind of ratio equation. Identify the genus Pygium with necessary qualification for the. So this is always, sometimes it is question asked in many competition and also by some of the students, why Mendel choose the genus Pygium, or why choose the P. Some thoroughly distinct forms which are constant, easily and certainly recognizable, produce fertile progeny upon crossing of the hybrid. So this is one of the reason. Mendel find that some of the distinct forms are there which are constant in nature. There is no any differences in the fertility. Traits can be recognized easily in the progeny, in the offspring. So that's why he shows the Pygium. Undesirable cross pollination is is too rare to influence the result because of the flower structure where male and female organ are retained, are basically kept in a structure like keel. So it will not allow any foreign pollen easily enter on the egg cell and contaminate. So this is another advantage with the pea. Easy culture, a relatively short period of growth, favor pea for. So this is another advantage. Easy culture, you can grow easily. The pea can be grown easily, and also its growth period is short. That basically help Mendel or indicated Mendel to select the pea. Artificial fertilization is somewhat elaborate. Of course, it is somewhat difficult because it is the self-pollinated crops. Flower is not so small, so it is difficult, but it is not impossible. So many crosses, easily you can make so many crosses in case of the pea, and that's why Mendel chose the pea as a experimental plants. Though he has so many options, he has phaseolus, he has fuchsia, so many flowering plants were there, but he chose the pea. And of course, initially he selected the 34 varieties. He validated, he tested for 2 years for their purity, stability, and based on that, he finally selected 22 of these for the experiment. And these are the 7 traits Mendel selected. And I'm really surprised to know that the Mendel did not use any flower trait, flower color in his experiment, though it is mentioned in many of the genetics books that flower color, the purple and white flower color was used, and they are always being used to prove the ratio of the Mendel in the monohybrid cross and in the dihybrid cross. But it is a true that Mendel has not used any color trait, flower color trait. It has used only in combination with the other, like color of the seed coat. White seed coat is correlated with the white flower, and gray brown or leathery brown seed coat is correlated with the violet color. But I did not find any wording about the color of the flower in whole of the Mendel papers published in 1866. So he has not taken, probably because this color trait is not stable as per the Mendel. Only he correlated this one, and the remaining the characters were like seed shape, round or wrinkled. Color of the endosperm, it is maybe yellow or green. The ripe pods simply inflated or constricted. Color of the unripe pods, light to dark green versus yellow. Position of the flowers, whether axial or terminal, and length of the stem, though this is one of the variable characters, still Mendel chose these because he has such a plant that one group grows up to 6 to 7 feet and another group grows up to 0.7 to 1. So there is clear-cut distinction, differences between the tall and short plant. Some of the characters do not show clear-cut distinction, are often difficult to define. So this is the criteria basically Mendel took for selection of these 7 traits. So again, question raised that why he studied only 7 traits? Why not 8? Why not 6? Why not 5? Why not 4? So of course 7 traits he found maximum, which showed the stability across the generation, across the individuals, and it is possible to score easily the round seed or wrinkled seed, or color of the endosperm, like it is yellow or it is green. So there is no ambiguity in the scoring of the data for these 7 traits, and probably these were the region where Mendel took these 7 traits. Again, there are some seed related traits that I will discuss later on, why he preferred seed related traits. So Mendel experiment. Now he initiated the experiment with all the 7 differentiating pairs. So 7 pairs of the genotype they have taken. 7 pairs means the one plant is a round seed and another is wrinkled. Another plant is having the yellow endosperm. Another is, so similarly the contrasting feature of the parents were taken and crosses were made experiment wise from 1 to 7, and these were the number of the crosses made in number of the plants. In addition to direct crosses, Mendel also made the reciprocal crosses, mean both the parents were used as a pollen parent and seed parent. Both direct and reciprocal hybrids were raised properly in open and also in protective. So again you see that the Mendel knowledge and understanding that In addition to growing the materials in the open, she also grew some of the materials in the protected condition just to a backup scheme in case any problem happened with the material planted in the open. He can save the material. He can say something based on the material which were planted under the polyhouse or greenhouse condition. So observation on the hybrids. What observation he noted? So knowledge in hand. What knowledge he had at that time before the noting the observation? Ornamental hybrid, as a rule, are not exactly intermediate between the parental species. So this is one observation on knowledge he had. However, those related to the form and size of the leaves, the pubescence, several parts, etc., intermediate is nearly always. So we talk about the both the traits. There was sometimes in after the rediscovery of the Mendel, it was the matter of discussion that the Mendel's law is not applicable with the quantitative traits. Though here already Mendel has mentioned some of the traits which show the intermediate level of expression. Of course, these are the traits are quantitative in nature, like size, form and size of the leaf, pubescence, several other parts which were not showing the exact kind of dominance, but rather they show the intermediate expression, and hopefully they governed by the many traits, many genes, and multigenic in nature. In other cases, however, one of the two parental characters is so preponderant that it is difficult or quite impossible to detect the other in the hybrid. So in the hybrid, he found that there is only one character is visible. The other character is hidden. It is not visible in the F1. Though this phenomena is already known, dominance phenomena is already known. Mendel already knows this phenomena from the experiment of the previous scientists. Already he knows. But of course, in his all the 7 crosses, Mendel noted the expression of the trait of only one parent, and the character he of course he used the term dominant for the character which express in the F1 or the hybrid trait, and those which become latent, the term recessive was used. Hybrid form remains identical irrespective of contribution. This was the another observation. It was not maybe noted earlier. Both the direct crosses and reciprocal crosses had same kind of behavior. Means level of whether it dominant trait is from the male parent or from the female parent. F1 always show the trait of the dominant, like seed coat. Seed shape. Round seed shape is remain round in the F1 whether the round parent is used as a seed parent or it is used as a pollen parent. So he found no difference between the reciprocal crosses, and Gardner, one of the preceding scientists, also emphasized that even the most practiced expert is not in position to determine in a hybrid which of the parental species was the seed or the pollen parent. So this observation already there. Mendel just extended and he made it more clear. So observation on hybrid behavior of the 7 characters. So these are the 7 characters which shows or which is the character of the hybrid, like roundish form of the seed was the hybrid character. It expressed only in the hybrid form. The wrinkled form was. So similarly in all the cases the dominant traits are identified. The hybrid forms of the seed shape and endosperm color are developed immediately after the artificial fertilization by the mere influence of the foreign gene. So another important knowledge Mendel has, that such traits can be observed even in the first year of experiment, while all other characters only appear in plant raised from hybrid fruit. So first 2 experiment or first 2 trait, like seed form round or wrinkled, and endosperm color yellow or green, these 2 traits were the trait which can be observed in the same generation itself. The remaining traits required to grow the plant to know the or to record the observation. So even at that time, Mendel had understanding on genia and used this property in classification of the seed. So first generation from this, so we have already noted, Mendel has already noted the behavior of the plants in the F1, and what is the behavior of the plant in the generation next to the hybrid. So in this generation, recessive ones also reappear. So he found that the recessive trait ones also reappear with the dominant in 3:1 in all the correct. So recessive reappearance of the recessive was not the new observation. The new was the ratio in which the recessive trait was reappeared, because it is already known. It is already known that the reversion of the parents from the hybrid. So it is already known. So recessive is of course reappear with the dominant in the ratio of 3:1. No differences in the reciprocal crosses, hence data pooled. So again, in the next generation, no differences was found, and therefore the data was pulled together. And in experiment 1, form of the seed, out of the 7,324 F2 seed, 5,474 were round roundish one, and only 1850 were angular wrinkled ones, forming a ratio of 2.96:1. In experiment 2, color of the albumin or endosperm, of the 8,023 F2 seed, 6,022 were yellow and 2,001 were green. Their ratio therefore is as 3.01:1. And another interesting fact of the Mendel experiment or Mendel observation was that in experiment 1, one plant had 43 round and only 2 angular seeds, and another with 14 round and 15 angular seeds. So if you take the example of this plant in F2, we cannot get the ratio of 3:1. Similarly, in the second experiment, one plant had 32 yellow and only 1 green seed, but also one had 20 yellow and 9. So these two examples, these two exceptional observations are interesting observation noted by Mendel, indicate that if you analyze one plant, two plant, three plant, probably you will not be able to get the ratio of 3:1. Rather, for getting a proper or adequate ratio, you need to raise more, you need to consider more number of individuals, more number of plants, and of course these observations signifies the importance and implication of population size in determination of the average ratio, and also its implication in effective breeding population. Second generation, so first generation after hybrids, now second generation of the hybrids observations. So these are the steps followed by Mendel first time. The recessive character remain constant. So those characters, those group of individuals possessed to be recessive in F2, they remain constant in F3. Two-third dominant F2 seed gave dominant and recessive characters in the proportion of the 3:1. So the two-third of the individuals having the round seed again segregated, and they give the dominant and recessive characters in the ratio of 3:1. The same ratio which was observed in the F2. Only 1/3 remains the dominant character. So one third of the round individuals remain round or remain constant. Thus Mendel demonstrated that those forms which possess the dominant character in the first generation, 2/3 have the hybrid character and 1/3 remain constant with the dominant character. And these were the observations. These were the observations which were typical, unique to the Mendel experiment. The ratio 3:1 of the dominant and recessive characters resolved itself into the ratio of 2:1:1. So today we know that the F2 of a monohybrid cross is having ratio of 3:1 phenotypic ratio, and if you go for the genotypic ratio, it is the 1:2:1 or 2:1:1, and this is of course the dominant and two parental type is there. So this ratio is no, but at that time imagine that when there is no knowledge, no one is able to help, and at that time Mendel determined that the F2 has the actual ratio of 2:1:1 if the dominant character be differentiated according to its significance as a hybrid character or as a parental character. Since the member of the first generation spring directly from the seed of the hybrid, it is now clear that the hybrid form seed consisted of one or other of the two differentiating characters. So like here it is either it is round or it is the wrinkle, round and wrinkle. One half develop again hybrid. So half out of the maybe one half of the dominant is again develop into the hybrid form. One half, other half yield plants of constant nature and receive dominant or recessive characters in equal number. Again, number is equal. So equal number means there is equal contribution of both the round and wrinkle form. Now subsequent generation. So after the second generation from the hybrid, again Mendel continue his experiment in the subsequent generation. So the observation of the first and second generation on hybrid split up presumably hold good based on 6 generation of experiment 1 and 2, 5 generation of 3 and 7, and 4 generation of experiment 4, 5 and 6 continuously from the third generation. So in all the up to maybe 6, 7 generation, he found that the ratio of the 3:1 or 2:1 is hold true in spite even if you are moving ahead in not only in the 2 but in all the 7 characters. If A be taken, again he involved in the mathematical derivation. So if A is taken to denote one of the 2 constant characters, for instance the dominant, A is the recessive and A is the hybrid form in which both are co-joined. So A and A are co-joined together with, and the expression becomes the A plus 2AA plus A. So this A refer to the constant characters, constant form, and again single letter A, small a refer to the constant form, where double letter like capital A, small a refer to the hybrid form. Shows the term in the series of the progeny of the hybrids of the 2 differentiating characters. The observation made by the Gartner, Kohlreuter and others that hybrids are inclined to revert to the parental form is also confirmed. And you see that Mendel gave again a formula just to calculate the number of the parental type. Once you consider the single gene or monohybrids, then what may be the proportion of the one parental type, what may be the proportion of another, and how the hybrid is diminishing in the subsequent generation. So by using this formula 2 to the power n minus 1 is to 2 is to 2 to the power n minus 1, it can be used efficiently for calculation of the number of individuals in each generation if n is having the number of generation. Offspring of the hybrid 2. So after completing the experiment with full satisfaction, full confidence on the monogenic experiment up to the F6, F5 generation, Mendel also has initiated experiment with the 2 differentiating characters. So instead of the round and wrinkle seed, he has taken together a line having the round seed and yellow endosperm color, and second is the wrinkle and green endosperm color. So Mendel decided to test the behavior of each pair of differentiating characters in combination by uniting them in the hybrid by crossing. He planned 2 experiments with the considerable number of plants. In the first, the parental plants differed in the form of the seed and the color of the albumin, that is endosperm. So this is dihybrid cross, and second is the trihybrid cross, where in addition to these 2 traits, the color of the seed coat Mendel also taken in parental lines. So experiment with seed character. So this is one of the question. Experiment with seed characters give the result in the simplest and most certain way. This is the statement of the Mendel, and I request host to put this question to the student: why experiment with seed characters give the result in the simplest and most certain way? Y, and they should, I think, students should try and they should submit their view. In order to facilitate study of the data in these experiments, the different characters of the seed plant will be indicated like A, B, C, those of the pollen parent, and A, B, C, and the form of the seed parent, and the hybrid forms of the character like capital A small a, capital B small b, and small a small capital C small c, and these are the in fact first experiment of the two dihybrid cross. So offspring of the hybrid with two differentiating characters. So fertilized seeds F1 appeared round and yellow because these two traits are the dominant. So they only appeared. Wrinkled and green endosperm colored remain latent, silent, or they hide because they were recessive. 4 sorts of seeds on hybrid plants were formed. In all, 556 seeds were yielded by 15 plants, and these are the output of the experiment. 315 round and yellow seed. These seeds are basically the F2 seed. These are not the F1 plant, F2 plant. These are the F2 seed which are born on the F1 plant, and they scored because of Gini effect. They scored these 315 seeds were round and yellow, 101 wrinkle, and likewise the 4 group Mendel noted. All the 4 groups of the seeds were again shown, and the behavior of the individual group were noted in the next generation. So 3115 round yellow individuals, from where 11 did not germinate and 3 did not form the seed, and out of the remaining 38 had round yellow seeds. So round yellow seeds means here round yellow and again round yellow. That means those individuals have both the gene in constant form. Means they are like a having the both the gene, similar kind of elements are there. 65 round yellow and green seeds. So it's segregating for one, and it is constant for the one, constant for the round, wherever it is segregating for the endosperm color. Another 60 is the round yellow and wrinkled yellow seeds. So its constitution is like capital A small a and capital B. B is means the second character is constant, the endosperm color is constant. 138 round yellow and green wrinkled yellow and green seeds, and they are expected to have the capital A small a, means both the elements are in the hybrid. Here one is hybrid, here one is hybrid, here both are constant. This kind of the result he got once the 315 F2 plant having the round and yellow seed raised in the next generation. 96, the second category, 96 of the 101 wrinkled yellow have again the two kind of group. The third one, 108 round and green group had again 2 group, and the last one, 32 wrinkled and green seed gave the same kind of, means all the 30 plants produced seeds all of like character, that is they are wrinkled and green. That means again here the genes are the gamete involved of the similar kind, and that's why the constant rates are retained in the next generation. So in total 9 forms of the hybrids, 9 forms of hybrid offsprings are there, like this is 4, 6, 8 and 9 forms are there. And the offspring of the hybrid with 2 differentiating characters, the development series consists of, so therefore of 9 classes, of which 4 are AB, means this is constant for both the characters in different combination. The first and last 2 is the parental type, and these 2 are the recombinant type, but they are constant in characters, appear therein always once, and are constant in both characters. AB and AB are of course parental type, and these 2 are possible combination of the constant type combination. four clauses like this one appear always twice and are constant in one character and hybrid in the another. One class appears four times, so this is having the both the in hybrid combination, this is hybrid traits and is hybrid in both characters. Thus the offspring of the hybrids are represented by expression, co-joint expression will be like AB plus A capital B, so this will be the co-joint expression. So if you align the two go for the dihybrid cross, then you will find this kind of expression. This expression is indisputably a combination series. Combination series based on the mathematical derivation Mendel has used, uniquely applied in his experiment, in which the two expressions for the characters capital A small a, capital B small b are combined. We arrive at the full number of the classes of the series by the combination of the expression. So these two characters, this is for the seed form like round and wrinkled, this is for the endosperm color yellow and green. So if you come these two are combined together, then we have a expression like this one, and this is the combination series. So offspring of the hybrid with three different, so similarly he is used for three genes, and again he got the different groups like 8 groups, constant 8 groups which are constant for both all the characters, another 12 groups constant for the 1, constant for the 2, and hybrid for the 1. Another 6 group, they are constant for the 2 and hybrid for the 1, and the 1 group that is hybrid for all the 3 differentiating traits. So these are the observation of a tri-hybrid cross of the Mendel with different groups, whether they are constant, whether they are hybrid for 1, 2 or for 3 traits. And finally, the development of the hybrid when the original parents differ in 3 characters result therefore according to the following expression, co-joined expression of the A, B, B, C, C. So if simply we go for the multiplication of the A or join together 3 times, then you will find the expression of this one. So tri-hybrid cross is tri-hybrid, but it can be derivation, its ratio is possible based on the, so that was it is the combination series. So here also is involved a combination series in which the expression of the characters A and capital A small a, capital B small b and capital C small c are united. The expression that's become, so this one is for one character, this one is for another, and this one is for the another, and it gives all the classes of the series. This series, the constant combination which occur therein agree with all combination which are possible between the characters like ABC, two thereof ABC and ABC resemble the 2 original. So out of so many combination, only 2 are of the parental type, means 2 resembles with the parental types. So other traits were experimented with the low. So not only these are, we have discussed about the one, but these other traits were also experimented by the Mendel, and he has, of course, he has used the mathematics to derive the ratio, and later on he has used the same experiment for the other traits, but of course he could not maintain the large number of plants with lower number of plants here, but in most of the cases he got the perfect number, and thus for the whole of the characters the principle applies that the offspring of the hybrid in which several characters are combined exhibit the terms of a series of combination in which the development series for each pair of different characters are united. So this development series, of course, this was the major thrust of the Mendel. At the same time, the relation of the each pair of different characters in hybrid union is independent. So this was one of the hint, one of the law of the Mendel, that independent assortment are opposed there. So this is one of the law indicated by the Mendel, not opposed it is the law of independent assortment. Mendel also proposed that if n represent the number of differentiating characters, n representing number of differentiating characters, in the two original stock. So we can find out, or we can chalk out, we can calculate the number of terms, means how many genotypic class are there. Terms means how many genotypic class are there, that can be determined by the 3 to the power n. So if there is one parent differ by one gene, then we have a 3 class like capital A, capital A, capital A, small a, small a, small a. Similarly for 2 it will be 9, for 4 3 it will be 27, and similarly 3 to the power n can be used to determine the term of combination series. And this combinatorial theory he basically studied while he was in the University of Vienna, that he has used for determination of the different individuals. 4 to the power 1 was used to determine the number of individuals which belong to the particular series. Like if it is monogenic cross, then there will be 4 total individual possible is 4. If 2 it is 16, if 3 it is 64. So accordingly you can calculate 2n is the number of unions which remain constant. So if one gene is there, then 2 of the individuals which remain constant. If it is 2, then there is 4 individuals you will find that they are constant in the F2 or in the other generation. All constant combination of 7 different characters were actually obtained by repeated. So the Mendel obtained all constant combination of 7 characters in a single parent, in single plants by repeated. So that was a major achievement, that all the 7 characters he combined, he integrated in a single plants. In fact, this is a practical proof that the constant form from the several varieties may be obtained in all the association which are possible according to the laws of combination by means of repeated artificial fertilization. Now another experiment he made on reproductive cell of the hybrid. So his intention was to know what is the constitution of the cell or reproductive cell of the hybrid, how this hybrid is performing or developing such kind of offspring. Though we know today, but at that time there were no information. So Mendel wanted to know the composition of the egg and pollen cell of the hybrids, since it was unknown. An important clue Mendel had at that time, that among the progeny of the hybrid, constant form appear in respect of all combination of the associated characters. So this was one of the knowledge Mendel had. He assumed that constant progeny can only be formed when the egg cell and pollen are like character. Means in modern terms, if you have the same kind of gamete, then you can get or achieve the constant progeny, so that both are provided with the material for creating quite similar individuals, as is the case with the normal fertilization of the pure species. We must therefore regard it as certain that exactly similar factor must be at work also in the production of the constant form in the hybrid plant. Because from the hybrid plant, once you break the hybrid, if you go for the intermating the hybrid, or if you go for the selfing the hybrid, then this hybrid is break down, and half it is maintaining the hybrid, where half of the progeny are parental type. So how this progeny is deriving is basically the interest of the Mendel to know what kind of the egg and the pollen cells are there in the hybrid. Since the various constant forms are produced in one plant, are given in one flower of a plant, the conclusion appears logical that as many sort of the egg cells and the nth as many sort of pollen cells are formed as there are possible constant combination of the form. So this is one of the his hypothetical assumption, that the number of gametes will be equal to the number of the combination of the constant. For example, if it is 2, then certainly there will be 4 kind of gamete. This hypothesis is fully sufficient to account for the development of the hybrids in the separate generation, if you assume that the various kind of egg and pollen cells were formed in the hybrids on the average in equal number. So two differentiating forms may be like capital A small a, capital B small b, and all possible constant combination. What Mendel assumed here, based on this hypothesis that it should be AB, capital AB, capital A, small a, capital B. So these kind of terms are, these kind of elements are possible in the hybrid egg and pollen cells. So these assumptions were experimentally validated using seed from the seed form and the color of the albumin together in a hybrid. So again he conducted the same experiment where the round and wrinkle seed and yellow and green endosperm genotypes were taken. So these two are present in one, these two are present in the another one. He made the crosses, and the F1 were planted side by side of the parents, both the parents. So the hybrids with the pollen of AB, so hybrid into P1, hybrid into P2, P1 into hybrid, P2 into hybrid. So crosses were made in both ways. Reciprocal crosses were also made with the hybrid. So P1, P2, both the parents were used in the back crossing, reciprocal crossing, and P1 and P2 is used as a seed parent, and this one is used as a pollen parent. So both way crosses were made. The above theory be correct, there must be developed on hybrid eggs and pollen cells of the form AB. So these are the four gamete he assumed. If our theory is correct, then these four type of gametes must be there in the sex cell of a hybrid plants, and they will be combined. So egg cell, these four cells produced in the egg of the hybrid plant will combine with the pollen of the AB in first case. Again four gametes will combine with the gamete of the P2 AB, because this is only one, and here the parental lines was used as a egg cell. So there will be only one gamete, and these four gametes will be produced in pollen cell. Again the four gametes will be produced in the. So these are the all assumptions based on the expectation, and ultimately from each of these experiments following results are expected. So these are the expectation that this will be the result of the first experiment. See, both all kind of individuals may be there. See, the one kind will be constant for both. Here it will be one constant, one hybrid, another again one constant, one hybrid. Here both will be hybrid. So this will be this. These are the expected. These are the expectation of the those crosses. If furthermore the several forms of the egg and pollen cells of the hybrids were produced on an average in equal number, then in each experiment the said four combination should stand in the same ratio to the each other. So again another assumption was made earlier that the gametes are produced in the equal number. So all have equal number, and if it is pollinated by the pollen, so their ratio in the progeny will be same. So that was the another assumption. The perfect agreement in the numerical ratio was however not to be expected, since each fertilization, even in normal case, some egg cells remain undeveloped. So these are the some of the hurdle we always face with the experiment. Still he expected that result will be near to the perfection. So yes, so logically the first and third experiment and the second and fourth experiment. So in the first and third experiment, all seed appear to be round and yellow, which is as per the expectation. So all will be round and yellow. Phenotypically, genotypically it may be different, but phenotypically it should be round and yellow. So in first experiment, 98 exclusive round and yellow seeds were obtained, and once in first experiment, in third experiment, 94 exclusive round yellow seeds were obtained. In case of the second and fourth experiment, there were different category of the individuals. Phenotypically different individuals are obtained, and there were 4 individuals similarly by and large in equal number. So offspring behavior in the next generation was out of the 98, 90 individuals of experiment 1 and 87 of the 94 individuals of experiment 2 showed that this 20 of experiment 1, 25 of the experiment 2 gave the round yellow seeds. 23 and 19 of the two experiment give the round yellow and green seeds. So these are the based on their behavior in the next generation, these genotypic class were assigned, and ultimately, if you see, as per the expectation, the ratio seems to be 1:1:1, because all the gametes which are produced in combination have the equal opportunity, equal chances, and equal fertilizing ability, and that we assume that ratio will be the similar. So here the same kind of ratio Mendel observed in his experiment. In the second and fourth experiment, these are the four groups of individuals with different phenotypic class were observed, and these in the next generation their behavior indicate that 31 and 24 individuals of the first group had the genotypic class of, means both the genes will be in hybrid. In the second one is in hybrid, one is in constant. In third one again, one is in hybrid, one is constant, and in fourth one both the characters are in recessive. They are recessive and constant in nature. And again the ratio is, of course, it is as per the expectation. The ratio is 1:1. Is to 1:1. So these are the experiment which conducted by Mendel to confirm, to know the constitution of the egg and pollen cells of a hybrid, which basically involved in the production or development of the hybrid as well as parental lines in the next generation. Basically that related to the transmission of the traits from the parents to the offspring, from hybrid to the next generation. Other experiment with the other plants, Mendel, in addition to the Mendel, in fact, tried to prove the same thing in other species, and basically Phaseolus vulgaris, as I indicated earlier, also available with the monastery with Mendel, and he used the Phaseolus vulgaris, Phaseolus nanus for proving his theories, and he was excellent. He was perfect in achieving the result similar to the P for some of the characters. However, in one of the experiment, the phenomena of remarkable changes of color in the flowers and seed of the hybrids were noted. So, in some of the experiment, they did not prove, they did not get this expected result. Apart from the fact that from the union of the white and purple red coloring, a whole series of color results from purple to pale violet and the white. So this is the variation, gradient of the variation observed in case of the flower color, and probably this was the reason Mendel has not mentioned or not discussed anything which is used in his experiment, particularly with the seed coat color, which is linked with the flower color. So I think Mendel was genius enough to avoid any kind of contradiction or any kind of confusion, or probably he has ignored his observation on the other traits which are related in the discussion and result part. The circumstances is striking one, that among 31 flowering plants only, so this is another observation, irregular observation were noted in case of the Phaseolus species, and this may be probably because of combination of two or more independent colors which individually act like any other constant character. So this is again, here is the indication of the multiple gene. More than one independent characters for a particular character is nothing but it is one of the example of the, maybe not quantitative perfectly, but it is the case of the oligogenic trait. Whoever studies the coloration in the ornamental plants from similar fertilization noted that development follows a different law which possibly find its expression in the combination of the. So again, the independent characters are reported by the other researcher. So final verdict, come to the final verdict. These were the experiment. Just I have discussed what I got, what I understand, or what I received from the Mendel paper, which is translated one, not the original one, which published in the German, but it is the English which is translated by the some others. So the complete final wording, the principle applies that the offspring of the hybrid in which several different characters are combined exhibit the terms of a series of the combination in which the development series for each pair of differentiating characters are united. So it is nothing but it is the extension of the monohybrid cross into the dihybrid into the trihybrid. The determination of the ratio means the rules applicable for many traits which is applicable in the single trait or monogenic trait. It is also demonstrated that relation of each pair of different characters in hybrid union is independent. This I've already discussed. The offspring of the hybrids of each pair of different characters are one half hybrid again, while the other half are constant in equal proportion, having the characters of the seed and pollen parents respectively. If several differentiating characters are combined by cross fertilization in a hybrid, the resulting offspring form the terms of combination series, in which combination series for each of the pair of differentiating characters are united. Come to the final one. This is again the one of the example or one of the phenomena discussed by Mendel. By if you need to recover recover the parental type for all the 7 characters, certainly you need not to grow the 100 to 200 plant, because as per the expectation, more than 16,000 plants you need for getting an individual with all the 7 traits in one plant. So this combination series indicate that you need to grow more number of plants. Okay, so this is all about the number of plants. So one of common belief that Mendel was really interested in examining the process of hybridization. So this is one of the beliefs about the Mendel, but the term hybridization appears only once in his paper. So this is another interesting phenomena that the people feel that Mendel worked on the hybridization, P hybridization, other crop hybridization, but he has not mentioned. He has mentioned only once hybridization word in his paper. There is a traditional story that Mendel's interest resided in the study of heredity. However, the word heredity does not appear at all in the Mendel paper. The word development occurs on practically every pages of the paper, but no one has ventured to claim that Mendel was motivated by an interest in the development. So this development word was the major emphasis, and I think Mendel only knows why he has used the development word, but he has used, you see the importance on each and every page, the development word has been used by the Mendel. The fact Mendel's previous work on hybridization to produce new color variants in ornamental plants revealed a striking fact, and the offspring of the hybrid forms regularly produce the same classes of the progeny. This is one of the observation. It was regularity that promoted him to undertake this series of experiments to follow the development of the hybrid in their progeny. Further, hybridization experiments undertaken by others have not produced the information needed to deduce a particular law applicable to the development of hybrids. So his first set of experiment was intended to do precisely that, to give Mendel the idea necessary to formulate law of development of hybrids between parents of a pair of contrasting traits, followed by self-fertilization, gave same results for all the 7 traits. Mendel refers to this descriptive statement as the law of development by denoting the dominant constant trait by A, the recessive trait by A, and by hybrid capital A by small a. Mendel gives form of the law of development as capital A plus 2 capital A small a plus a, and he calls this expression is the developmental series. So developmental series of course was the major focus of the Mendel research. These are the 3 facets of the development that become the subject of the Mendel inquiry: the development of the hybrid, the law of development, and the developmental series. These are the 3 elements basically Mendel address to find out the genetic basis of a science, that is the science of genetics. After that, Mendel made an unexpected statement to undertake further experiment to know the outcome, to know the constitution of the egg and pollen cells. So coming to the final one, what exactly happens in the course of the Mendelian development? Basically, description includes the manner in which the hybrid trait is passed to and distributed among the progeny of the hybrid. So that is the major thing. How the hybrid is made and how the trait is passed from hybrid to the progeny, that was the major focus Mendel wanted to know. The pattern of the transmission of the hybrid trait from a hybrid to the progeny in the next generation, in the next generation. The hybrid capital A small a produces progeny that are constant A, constant small a, and hybrid A once again in the ratio of 1:1:2. So this is the nothing but he referred the law, and that is the law of development. How this progeny are developed from a hybrid, that he referred as law of development. He has not used any law like law of heredity, but of course this is nothing but this refers to the transmission of a form, a character from parents to the progeny. Moreover, without the term heredity, not even it was not in common use in the 19th century, Mendel makes it very plain that heredity was the focus of his interest, knowingly or unknowingly, whatever it may be, but of course his focus was related to the heredity, and maybe because he was not confident enough, no one supported him, he has not used those kind of terminology. Heredity indicates, of course, heredity indicates the transmission of a biological trait from one generation to the another. The equivalence between this definition and the Mendel description of the course of development is clearly apparent. So there is a correlation of the meaning of philosophy of the heredity with the outcome of the Mendel experiment. So there is no doubt that in this study of the development of hybrid, Mendel is actively, knowingly, intentionally deals with the heredity. Mendel intention to follow the development of hybrid, follow the development. This is the only thing he has taken. He has simply follows the development of the hybrid, and he judicially he selected the parents having a trait which are which can be distinct, which can be identified easily, make the crosses, and only he follow the development of the of hybrids in their progeny, and step by step description of the transmission and distribution of the hybrid trait between parent and progeny that make Mendel father of the genetics. Of course, he has not used this kind of terminology, but of course he deserved in all angles his work, his patience, the kind of knowledge he has, kind of description, kind of planning Mendel had at that time is really appreciable, and without any doubt, I think his lies acceptable universally, and he deserves for the father of genetics, or the founder of the one of the important science, that is science of genetics. So this is all about the presentation. Thanks.